that is, I don't know, there's good and bad.
In what sense?
Because for the previous one, if you're like still away from the monster, the alien or monster, whatever you call it, but you still can like run because there's a distance before the monster actually, your spawn lane to actually disappear up the distance, right? It means that you can run anytime you want, but the new that, like, you know, you have to pin your spawn lane and you can't go that far away whenever like last minute. You can't sustain the spawn lane like before.
I agree, but you know, they give you the payoff of like, I'm going to become the spawn link. You try to engage with me, I am the spawn link. Stop right there.
That's why it's not really a bad, it's not really a good thing too. It's kind of a reward, more precise. It's not buff or nerf, but I prefer the old one better.
Really, I actually prefer the new one. It's not like I'm purposely trying to go against it. I just prefer it because like, oh yeah, you're going to play Johnson? Alright, cool. I'm going to become my spawn link.
Why Johnson? Johnson is just go against Brock. It's like Johnson when doesn't just pick Brock, just put up that barrier anyway.
Yeah, those are options, but you know, it's solo queue, so you got to depend on, you know,
good luck with the
solo uno.
Solo queue is the best. The best thing that you can experience in MLBB is when you solo queue. You can experience how good it is, the game.
It's just how bad it is sometimes.
That's what I mean. It's like you fully experience the game when you solo queue.
Yeah, it's a tough climb. You're
overall. Probably just gonna throw your phone away and buy a new one for that too.
Oh.
It gives you a good reason to buy a new phone.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get a new reason to get a Black Shark too, chuck your old phone. Go MLBB for a while.
Go queue solo now.
But yeah, overall, I think the meta is in an interesting place. I think Mutra's doing a great job with a lot of their heroes because it's only going to get better from here on out. More priority picks. And for all of you out there watching, we're so sorry that there is going to be quite a bit of delay here. Looks like some of the players will need a bit of time for this in-game boss to fix all the technical issues, clear that all up so we can give you the best game possible.
That's true, and right now we are live on Facebook Gaming. Don't forget, just on live Facebook Gaming. And this is brought to you, MPL Season 4 NYSG, brought to you by EGG Network as well as Moonsoon. And we have our legendary sponsor, Black Shark. In case you need to buy a new phone, this is the phone that you want it to be. In case you queue solo like him, your phone will last long. I promise that.
Hey, my phone lasts pretty long. Because it's Black Shark too. Wow, didn't see that coming there. But yeah, I wanted to talk to you about, especially, you know, you were mentioning some of these other picks. How excited would you be for the fan favorite Alucard? Okay, maybe not. I just looked at your face and was like, no.
I've seen it. Alucard, Freya, for example, these kind of heroes that really need a little bit of farming. I won't say too much, but you really need to farm first. I've seen Alucard with the items, but it depends on the heroes too. If there's too much burst damage heroes in the early game for you to go against, it's not really good to go aggressive. You have to play more safe. But if there's not many burst hero, then you could go aggressive.
Really?
But then okay, the thing about Angela is that she can be placed in any place.
Okay.
And this is one of the hero that you like to play with, Angela and Alucard. Because this combo, it's so hard to fight against. I've fight against and used this combination before. And the likes of Alucard can use a little bit later when Angela goes in first inside of Alucard.
Oh, that's a fair point.
So it's actually prolong the fight timing for Alucard. So it's not a bad thing.
No, I guess, but I think more importantly, Angela is just really frustrating to deal with sometimes. And I'm actually surprised to see that a lot of teams haven't picked up some of the other, you know, support options like Raphaelia,
Estes is a good pick.
I think Estes, as of right now, I don't know how many people play, especially in the MPL NYSG, but definitely in some of the other MPLs, we have seen a risen of, you know, the Jawhead, the usual stuff. But Estes has been a rising trend here, and it's pretty interesting to see whether or not it's going to impact our meta here in NYSG region.
I think so, because support these days is not really something that you turn a blind eye to.
Oh, for
it's
sure,
really helpful. And I like those support that with healing. For example, Estes, you can single target healing a person. This kind of draft, I prefer to use it when there's no tank. You play with fighters and mages only.
Okay.
There are drafts when you can pick 3 fighters, 1 mage, or 2 mage and For we two fighter and one more will be support Estus. It's sustainable, but you have to have more than one fighter.
Yeah, I think. I mean, what I miss out the most is, since Estus is rising up, the question does become like, hey, Beleric?
Hey!
Beleric?
That guy is actually really good.
I mean, you're saying a lot of very good things about too many heroes. I'm skeptical.
Because these heroes are really good. That's you just keep on forgetting them. Why? There's so many heroes out there.
You're too nice. You're absolutely
okay,
too
except
nice.
for Layla, no.
Layla tagged is a thing, though.
Geelong? No. Whoever plays Geelong, I straight away just blacklist them. I know you're top number one Geelong or whatever, but no, still no.
Yikes.
No.
Strong opinions here.
I don't care about everything else but not Geelong, okay?
Anything but Geelong.
No. Because
what do you have against Geelong, though? PTSD? Or...
What can he do? He does nothing. Just fitting. It just fits, okay?
It's just kind of there.
Yeah, a lot of Geelong users are cursing me right now.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
No,
sorry.
No. I still don't like the Geelong, no.
Really, I think for me, the one thing I don't like the most, Bane. Pre-reworked Bane. Because that was not fun to play against. You were just...
But the new Bane is pretty cool, right?
It's basically the same Bane with a different ult. More octopus.
Tentacles?
More tentacles? I mean, yeah, sure, but like his ultimate used to be interesting. That the Great Whirlpool, which actually destroyed structures and dealt damage.
I like this new one. There's a knockback.
There's a knockback, and it does still damage structures, but it's it wasn't the old ult, and I was very fond of the old ult, mainly because I climbed a lot with it.
Here's the spammer of
meta abuser right here.
But then the knock-up is actually not knock-up. Knockback is really handy when it comes to canceling. I think they can cancel some ultimates too.
Certain ultimates, yes. Certain ultimates.
But not all of them.
No, definitely not all of them. But it is a useful engagement tool when you need to they're going to be here. All right, it's kind of like, you're fighting in lane. I'm going to cover the entire lane with this giant tidal wave that you can't really do much against unless you give up your tower or move away from the tower. I think it has its utility, but is it meta? I definitely don't think so, mainly because he doesn't bring enough in his kit. Like, his first and second ability, it's just not enough. The crab cannon doesn't do enough.
If you, I think it's really handy though. If you have full critical damage on it, like even Blade of Despair is enough.
Sure, I don't know how to feel about that too much because they changed his initial crab cannon, and now it doesn't do AoE damage. It kind of bounces off, which kind of irks me out because then I can't just trade whenever I want to, and the minions don't really work in your favor for the most part of it. They kind of just like jumble up with each other, and it never hits the right target.
Okay, fine, you made your point, but who else? I still want Argus to be. Why nobody pick Argus?
No. No.
Faramis. Faramis is pretty decent.
I think Faramis is interesting. I think.
Faramis.
Where does he fit? Because his ultimate, it's like initially when we first heard about Faramis, it's like, wow, that's a great ult. That's crazy. You fight again, like, oh my goodness, and then you realize like people can just walk away. Yeah, it's temporary, and people can just kind of walk out of it.
If it's making like you can just respawn one member but permanently, not temporary, then it's very OP. Because imagine if you have for example, you have a marksman, right, that really aims a lot by these teams, and then as long as Farm is taking care of her, and they try to kill her or him for that marksman, I don't know the gender, okay, because there's so many marksmen out there, and then if Farm's ultimate is being reworked, holy hell, Mountain, can only revive one person, but the cooldown time is very long to just make this up.
Okay.
So, and then you can just revive one person in that war. So imagine if your marksman never dies. Marksman never dies.
Oh boy. I'm going to stop you right there. I'm going to stop you right there. We're going to go back into the game. You guys have been waiting so patiently. Thank you so much for sticking around. Let's go straight back into it. It's time for the action. This is game one between Poda versus EVOS Esports. Let's see how it goes.
Well, nothing's going on yet. I like potatoes. I think a lot of good players name Potato, no matter what games they play.
Really?
We probably should change our name to Potato, but anyhow, Audio Bambi is giving off a little bit damage, poking each other.
Yeah, and Toda, they're kind of just rotating around, trying to make sure that they don't give up too much of a lead to the enemy team. They're going to go into the jungle here, but their Rock is really chunked out, so EVOS is going to punish them by moving in and jacking away that buff, but they're going to go for the full-off fight. Kind of in trouble, the Akai is trying to get away out, but he goes down. There's just too much slow for that team. It looks like the invade didn't go too well, as Dyrod was able to get first rotation onto them, and they get another kill in JPL.
But on bottom side, though, Soul is doing great solo against one of the Toda's teammates, Xiao. Chiku is having hard time fighting against one of the strongest hero in lane, Silence.
Yeah, and I mean, Soul, he's kind of stuck in this position where he can't really trade, he can't really do too much, and especially when the lane is more involved, like in 2v1, it becomes a lot more difficult for Soul to really take the 2v1. These are very
But he's
interesting
gonna be
rotations.
fine. He's one of the best solo laner in any lane, but at the current state, Toda is going 3 all the way in the middle. They're rotating mid and bottom all the time. Dyrus is doing okay on top. I don't think he has any problem.
Oh no, Soul's in a lot of trouble here. He already used his ability. He's going to be locked down. They waited perfect timing for Soul to use his leap, and they punish him. Instead of he wasn't get any resets off, so he is just stuck there. And EVOS wants to punish Ione. Taking a bit of damage from the power of nature is going to be enough. Oh dear, Bambi, he's going all in on this. Angel's going to lock him up, and they're all going to die with the help of Ace setting up the fire. Potato gets a full-on hit here, but X-Ray, he's trying to go for the execute. It's not going to be enough, as Dyroth has not enough damage for now. The empowered abilities can't help him out, and now a full free fight for EVOS Esports, picking up so many members as well as the Turtle. Great fight coming in for
That was a nice Divine Judgment pull over the Zaman Force. There's no way for them to run. A lot of AoE damage done by Potato and Audio Bambi at the same time. It's so hard for them to actually defend, and they have to retreat and lost a lot of casualties though.
Oh yeah, a little too much, but at least it puts EVOS back in position now. Oh! Ione trying his very best. One more hit. I think the Chrono Dash should be able to take him out. But the shield from Angela, it wasn't enough. I thought he was going to be safe there, but it wasn't. Angela makes it through, but unfortunately could not save Ione.
Oh, right now, one more Hurricane does to kill that Nanas. But Moon a little bit too late. Still trying to help. Almost got himself killed. Will it be worthwhile doing that? That was a big, big mistake. Unfortunate play by Toda. Sacrificing too much, giving away, but then X-Ray and the bottom lane, Chico trying to make a spectacular.
Yeah, this is going to be a solo kill here. If Chico doesn't get out, he quickly uses the flicker. He doesn't want to give any more of a lead to Soul, but X-Ray was able to find Ace out and knock him down. Really well played there, but it's quite a big lead coming in from EVOS Esports.
Oh, there's nowhere to run or hide for Chico. They are cornered. And Nenas tries to save this tower. Coming up from behind is E1. Soul will be ripped, or will they get ripped instead? JPL managed to finish off by Angela. And the rest of the team trying to survive from Zaman Force by Bambi. Moon is struggling, jumping away, but that dash and that one hit. Hitting a flying Guinevere.
Yep, Guinevere isn't able to do too much there as the rest of the team is going to zone out. I mean, I was expecting Angela to maybe go in, but again, her ultimate wasn't up. It just came up not too long ago, but it was too late. Two third members, Ione, as well as Moon, go down.
Well, at least Dyro managed to push a little bit on top. They need more towers and more pushing force. They're not doing great in team fights for Toda team. The team fight for EVOS is a little bit too much for them to handle. And getting second turtle for themselves, this is opening up the gap further for both of these teams.
Absolutely, and both Potato and Oh Dear Bambi coming with the Calamity Reaper. Those are really big buys here because they are such strong core items for these two in comparison to something like a Lightning Truncheon, which doesn't do as much. So let's see how they want to play this out. X-Ray does buy his Bloodlust Axe. That's going to give him some sustainability, but I don't think it's going to be enough to protect their turrets, but they're trying to trade objectives all across the map.
Well, they managed to push it off for Toda, but in terms of team fight, they try to avoid it as much as they can, just focusing on objective Odir, Bambi, and Potato just gonna build this lane, but it seems like they are catching some. MPL open up Divine Judgment, going in with Hurricane Dust, clicking just on top of X-Ray. And now Angela's going in, gonna be the second one to be sacrificed. Moon a little bit too late, but managed to follow up here.
Oh, Violet Requiem actually lands. The magic thumb is still going through, but Esmeralda is just cutting right through them. That shield is just too big for them to actually deal with, and that's kind of the problem with Guinevere. She goes in for that, big ultimate, hits a couple of people, but if she doesn't get that kill, it's not worth anything.
I think it's a little bit too late. Every single time Moon comes in, everybody already being finished off, then only she jumps right in. If only they can make it on time for once, for Moon to initiate first, then things will change a little bit there.
Yeah, and I think EVOS, they're going to take their lead. They've already created a 7K gold lead 6 minutes into the game. It's not looking too good for Todak here, as EVOS Esports already have a full item and are very close to actually getting a second core item for their carries.
Oh, Chico trying to run. He's being pinned down and just being denied. Shut down so bad at the bottom lane and trying to still get the kill out of him. Divine Judgment right after he uses his immune. There's no way.
They were just sick of it. They're like, alright, this is too much juking. We're going to stop this right here. Now, Potato, he's going to walk away because he knows that Nanas is there to support him. Oh, dear Bambi. He wants to pick up another kill with the Zaman Force. He's got so many cooldowns and so many reduced cooldowns for that Chrono Dash that he is very happy to keep trading back and forth with this Grok.
Oh, well, Angela is kind of a little bit far from the rest of them. She can actually push, but it's not enough push by herself. Not much that she can do. For Tamus is trying to steal off the ball.
I mean, Tamus again, Soul, big greedy there. Should have been more aware, but unfortunately his team didn't tell him, and he goes down with no backup to really give him an escape route.
I'm curious why Nanas is always at the corner of a map for some time now.
I mean, Nanas, he wants to be able to use his ultimate efficiently, so he's probably going to just chill around there, pretend like he's not involved for the most part until EVOS Esports decides to go into a fight where then he can be effective, but I do think he needs to clear that top wave instead of just chilling from the rush.
That's what I actually think about, because that's what he's actually trying to do now.
Yeah, he's proxying it now, which is a little weird. He could have proxied it a little bit earlier, but now Soul is going to respond on the other end of the map, which might give Kodak an opportunity to get a catch.
Can he make it on time? Oh, he can just build it out this lane, but right now at the mid, Odir Bambi trying to bait them out, fishing them, making sure that they can get out a little bit from their fortress, because it's so hard for EVOS to jump right in and dive. It will be a big, big mistake. And one mistake can cost them one Lord and probably a couple of turrets too.
Yeah, not to mention that Potato as well as Bambi. Bambi just purchased his concentrated energy, so he's not going down anytime soon. While Potato, on the other hand, was able to pick up that Ice Queen Swan. So running away from him is going to be a lot tougher than you think it's going to be.
Both teams are at a stagnant here, not really trying to push too much or being too aggressive. Both are playing super safe and assertive. You don't know who's going to win this, because there's a room for comeback for Todak's team.
I mean, sure, but what they're going to have to do is steal away the Lord to buy 3 minutes of time, and they have to do it twice to reach that endgame, because a 9K gold lead is pretty tough unless EVOS really throw their lead, but they need to secure Lord for themselves at this 9-minute mark, just so they can end the game and break into that inhibitor turret.
They don't even need 5 people to just keep on the pressure, and they only need 2 people to finish off Lord. Look at that, how much damage done by Zaman Force Chrono Dash, but JPL was stuck there, and now Hurricane does save it! That was a big save by Ace! Holy smoke!
Oh my goodness, he makes it out with 1 HP, and they're going to turn this round. The rest of the team comes through. Bambi gets another kill, pops the Zaman Force to go to chase on Ione. He's in trouble, he goes down instantaneously with the help of his team on the side of EVOS. No help for the side of Ione from Kodak at all. Moon kind of not in a position to be like, hey, maybe I should go with the magic thumb.
My jaw dropped looking at that, because they almost got JPL, and things have been turning over, and it's not just favoring Todak. And that Ace Hurricane Dash giving JPL the space to move around and just build that situation.
Yeah, I think great bail coming in from Ace, even though JPL deserves to get punished for that because he missed the flicker. Now the rest of the team is actually going through. The Divine Judgment actually onto Moon. He breaks out, but it's not going to be enough because Odir Bambi is there to collapse him with his abilities. And now he's holding up a little bit more. He's holding on to that Zaman Force. He doesn't want to go all in just yet. He knows his limits.
That's true. But right now, trying to catch a couple of people with a pick-off from the Divine Judgment, but a little bit too late with no minions covering this. They probably just want to finish all the turrets they can for Evo, are securing this, not putting any risk, not going diving too deep, while the rest of Soda is struggling too deep, and there goes the Codaxroid, and finished off. Dairos with one more kill, legendary on Harris now. There's no way for Soda to come back.
Oh, big magic's up here, but that's not going to be enough. They wave the dragon. Can they pull it through? But they want to end the game. Ace is still hitting that crystal. The game ends there, and what a huge lead EVOS was. Very definitive victory coming in from EVOS Esports.
I saw Moon every single time he uses his
Magic stop?
No, Requiem Violet. Every single time it hits a lot of people, but it's just a little bit too late.
I mean, when at that point of time, there was at least a 10k plus gold lead, and the thing is